have a little over 200 members, active members within the 757 in all 7 cities. Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Newport News, Hampton, Norfolk. They're in all 7 cities, and they the one that drives it because we want to give them power. And we get behind them to support issues in their community. We do gun buybacks. As you know, we have done them in Portsmouth, we have done them in Suffolk, Virginia Beach, Norfolk. We do gun buybacks. We do it something. We just can't sit on the sideline of society and allow our young people go to this diminishing the state of despair. Also, we also work with different things. I don't know if you heard about that happened in Virginia when the baseball team one of the African Americans spitting their gloves, all kinds of stuff. We're the one that facilitate and negotiated the things that took place, like suspending the whole baseball season, the whole 9 yard ball. Everybody took the thing because that was appalling. And I put out the Hampton Roads Black Caucus put an op-ed in at Virginia Pilot saying we support the parents. The parents was crying because of the way they only had 2 blacks on the team. And so we handled it and they got the results that they wanted. Yeah.
All right, we ready.
Okay.
First up is the mayor.
Mayor Shannon Glover.
Okay. Very good.
I should have just stayed up here, right?
Yeah.
Well, so the good news is, thanks again for having me. And I'll just start. You want to stand here?
Right there.
Okay, I'll start by saying I'm going to share a little bit about my story, tell you why I'm here and why I want to continue to be your mayor. And then I'll talk real quick about our future because that's the exciting stuff. So my story really centers around faith, hope, and hard work. My mother, Willie Mae Glover, raised 6 children. My mom didn't have a big education, but she taught some strong values. And those values really centered around, number one, you needed to get an education because an education was something that no one could ever take away from you. The second thing was once you got an education, you got a good job so that you could take care of your family and you could support your family. After that, she told us when you get that good job, make sure that you get in position to give back to your community. And the last and most important that she stressed was don't ever forget where you came from. So when you see me up here, that's really what you see at the core of me. I served my country in the United States Navy. I left home. I was the first in my family to do that. Also, I was the first in my family to go to college, first to earn a degree, and the first to start a business, all from a guy with very humble beginnings. But as a part of that, I understood what the commitment was that I had to the community. Remember that saying that to whom much is given, much is required. So I started serving my community in a lot of capacities in nonprofit organizations, making a difference every day. And that's really what the core of me is all about. I got into politics, quite frankly, because of my service to the community. A number of folks recognized the things that I was doing, and they said, we need good leaders in the city of Portsmouth. So I signed up. As many of you may know, in 2016, I ran unsuccessfully for mayor. 2018, I became a councilman. In 2020, I became your mayor. My commitment has always been to service because, quite frankly, I care about the community in which I live, and I want to absolutely make a difference. The things that we've done in the last 4 years as I've been mayor, we have changed the trajectory of the city of Portsmouth. The focus has been on certainly our public safety, reducing our tax burden, creating opportunities where we can bring business here and grow our economy, because most people don't know 42% of our land we don't get any tax revenue from. So we have to engage business and bring business here to help us pay our bills. We've done that in a very positive way. A lot of good things are happening in the city of Portsmouth. But here's what I want you to take away today. I want you to take away, what does the future look like? Under my leadership, this is what the future will look like. Continued progress, continue bringing businesses to our community, not only small businesses and large businesses, but we want to help those folks who want to come to our community and start a new business. You know, in this new blue economy, I endeavor for Portsmouth to be the #1 place for workforce development in Hampton Roads. What does that mean? It means we're going to create good paying jobs for our young children and for our young adults who want to get into the industries of maritime, of offshore wind, of all of those types of industries, advanced manufacturing, and in addition to that, redevelopment in our housing stock. We need to have good housing to bring those young families, those young people to our community. Right now, we have over 425 new home developments happening and over 660 apartments in the city of Portsmouth. We have an innovation district that's getting ready to come online, an entertainment district that is well underway to development, and more importantly, under my leadership, we will develop the waterfront. We will bring more people to the city of Portsmouth. We will encourage families to move here, to work, play, and raise a family. So I ask you to support me as your mayor to continue the progress. I have the experience and I am the right choice to continue the progress. Thank you.
Question. What are your top 3 things that you hope to accomplish if you are reelected?
Well, the top 3 things I think I articulate. One of the areas is we've got to create better opportunities for our young people and get them good jobs. Why? Because I think the best remedy to the crime and the violence that we're seeing is to help our young people get opportunities where they can focus on having a better life, #1. #2, the next thing is economic development and having an opportunity to grow our businesses here in the city of Portsmouth. Remember, that's the only real way we can create new tax revenue. But most importantly, our small women and minority businesses. I own a business. I'm a SWAM certified business. So we want to attract and help those young businesses, those small women and minority businesses come to the city of Portsmouth and have a foot, and then give them the resources and the support so that they can succeed. And the last thing, which I think is another important criteria, to reduce the tax burden on our citizens. We have an aging population and we have folks that are paying a lot to stay in their homes. So we want to make sure that we're putting in good policy and we're working very hard to bring new revenue in our city so that we can continue to reduce the tax burden. We were fortunate and able to do that with the casino coming to the city of Portsmouth. It enabled us to give a record amount to our schools, over $15 million. In addition to that, we were able to reduce our real estate tax rate, which showed up in the pockets of our community. That's what I intend to do. Those are the top 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it. You only get one question, Mr.
Okay, well, you just tell me what to do, and that's what I'll do.
Next up, Ms. Lucas Burke.
Who's the next?
Lucas Burke. Ms. Lucas.
The next up is
Councilwoman.
Lucas,
Vice Mayor.
Vice Mayor of Portsmouth. Give her a round of applause.
Greetings, everyone. I am Lisa Lucas-Burke, Vice Mayor in the city of Portsmouth and your 5-star candidate for mayor. I was born and raised in the city of Portsmouth, educated in 4 of our public schools, which means that I'm vested in the future prosperity of my hometown. I was elected to the Portsmouth City Council in 2016 after some reasons, after some things that brought me to this place, which I'll tell you about. After leaving high school, graduating from high school, I furthered my education at Norfolk State University, where I obtained my first degree in electronics engineering. I obtained a second degree in psychology. So I understand education and what it can do for people like me and you. I took my first job with the city of Portsmouth in the IT department. I worked as a computer operator, expanded to programming, and then to a programmer analyst. So I did 13 years with the city of Portsmouth. So I learned municipal government first as an employee at the employee age, at the employee level. After 13 years on the Portsmouth with the IT department, I left the city municipal government and joined my family business of Lucas Lodge, where we provide services to adults with developmental disabilities. So I understand what it means to treat people with dignity and respect, and advocating for people who can't have a voice for themselves. So been in business with Lucas Lodge for 25 years. Somewhere along the line throughout my public service work, I decided I would run for city council. I ran for city council in 2016. There were 10 people in the race. And for those who are running for council now, you know what it means to have 11 people running with you. But I was the top vote getter, so my city saw something in me that they wanted me to serve on the Portsmouth City Council. I did the first 4 years and ran for re-election in 2020. So I'm into my eighth year on the Portsmouth City Council. So I'm the most tenured person on the council, which makes me experienced to be able to serve as your next mayor. I served on the Economic Development Authority 6 years, 2 years of which I was the chair of the Economic Development Authority. So I understand the business community and entrepreneurship and the small women in business, because I am a small women and business right here in the city of Portsmouth Lodge. In serving on the Portsmouth City Council, I have 5 platforms. That's why I'm your 5-star candidate. I want to help increase the housing opportunity. Holly Point apartments right there at the County Street and Effingham Boulevard. The council that I was working with at the time didn't think that we needed more housing, but we do, because we have a diverse group of people who are living in the Portsmouth community and people who want to come here, but they need to be able to have affordable housing. Of course, healthcare access is another one of my platforms, because I believe that we need affordable healthcare options. Right now, we have one hospital, but we don't have an urgent care place. So if you need something urgently critical care where you need to go and get some treatment, we have to go to Suffolk, or we have to go to Chesapeake for patient first care. So I believe that we should be advocating for that type of healthcare right here in our city. Education, I voted for with the council to expand the educational opportunities for us to bring career and technical education to our schools, because granted, everyone is not going to be able to go away and go to college. They're not going to be able to afford college. So those career and technical opportunities will bring that ability for students who are not going to go to college. And then quickly, I'll talk about economic development, because that's where I served for 6 years. So I believe that bringing economic development, expanding our waterfront, where we have the opportunity to take our jail off the waterfront right now, that's a great economic driver that's going to be for us. And I see that they're giving me the flag. And my last point, of course, is public safety. And we all know that we care about the crime. So I will answer any questions that are posed to me.
Okay, so as you know, I heard you speak at my civic league meeting, and our main concern was we're getting all these new housing places and all these housing developments, and we were worried about the traffic. So what are your thoughts on both traffic and the overburdening of our schools?
So the traffic study, I know that we're talking about the development that's in the Churchland area, and some of the people in that community are kind of opposed to Grove Church building that new community. But I believe that once a traffic study is done and more infrastructure is put in, we won't have those problems. We need more housing. We need more people in the city of Portsmouth. Right now, we have a population of 97,000, and when that number goes up, of course, we are able to reduce our tax base as well. So if we are able to do a traffic study, get our infrastructure straight and correct it, then I think that would not be a problem for that issue. And then, of course, with our schools, we are working with our council right now to look at building a new middle school so that would not be an issue. So right now, we need to find out where our students are needed across the city. So if we do the things right with our schools and with our city council, then all of that would be a plus for the city.
Thank you. My bad. Next up is Bruce Lalonde. Bruce Lalonde.
Mr. Bruce. Okay, what the candidate, you see the young lady in the brown back here? She's your timekeeper. She's gonna give you 2 minutes, 1 minute, and she's gonna go like this. That's it.
You said 3.
Okay? Say again?
You said 3.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
You just all right. I.
Say again?
Did you need to go to the restroom? Hi, I'm Bruce. I'm a boring financial nerd.
You got back up.
I'm a boring financial nerd. It's about the money. You're a $1 billion city that doesn't have anybody who knows about finances or any business leadership on your city council right now. I am that man. My 3 platforms, and it's going to wrap up the money. The first one is about housing. I was the chairman of the board of Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority. We need 8,000 homes right now because that's what we have on the backlog in Portsmouth. 8,000 homes. Secondly, I'm on the board, just came off the board of Bon Secours. The medical facilities in this city are terrible. A woman can't have a child at Maryview. A woman can't get a mammography at Maryview. There's no free clinic over there. There's no urgent care clinics here in the city of Portsmouth. That's horrible for this city that we don't have medical care. The next one is crime. I want to talk to you when the time comes how I was able to reduce crime in public housing. When I was chairman for 2 years, there was only one shooting when I was there, and you do it by doing boots on the ground. But all of it boils down to, you're going to hear all these candidates talk about what they want to do, what they want to do, what they want to do. Where's the money going to come from? It's your money, all right? It's your responsibility. I went to school here in Portsmouth. I'm a Woodrow Wilson grad, did well in track, tennis, went to the States, got a scholarship to go to the University of Tennessee where I got my degree in accounting, joined the Navy, served 26 years, retired as a Navy captain, finance and logistics. I know money. While I was in the Navy, got my master's in computers from George Washington University, got my master's in marketing from The Ohio State University, go Bucks, and got my master's in national strategic planning from the National Defense University. I'm ready to do this job as a businessman, all right? I've been named, as I said, chairman of the board of Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority. I'm the head of Safety Town here in the city of Portsmouth. I was the vice chairman and the finance committee chair for the Portsmouth Athletic League. All right, I was on the first career technical and education board that put all the CTE in this town. That was me that did that. I was with my mentoring team up mentoring. In fact, stand up here, Langston. Langston, I've known Langston since he was 9. He's now 27. This is the future we're going for right now. If we don't fix these money problems now that everybody's going to be talking about, there's no future for these young men. So I'm Bruce. I'm running for city council. I want you to put a businessman on city council. I'm that guy.
Question. As you know, in the city, some citizens feel like there's no transparency from the people we place on the council. How would you correct that?
I am a very, very visible person. Everybody that knows me in this town, I'm very visible. I'm a dues-paying member of about a half a dozen civic leagues. And as I said, all those organizations I've been a part of, I've been at the top of those organizations. Safety Town, PAL. I brought back Pokey Smokey. Everybody who knows Pokey Smokey City Park, I'm the one who helped raise that money to bring Pokey Smokey back. I'm active in my church. During this campaign, I've visited probably 50 churches. I've visited every civic league at least twice. All right. I ran in the Coast Guard 5K this last week. I run in every race that's around here. I am as visible as you can be. I'm a member of the Knights of Columbus. I go to St. Paul's. The citizens need to see us. They don't need to come to City Hall to see us every 2 weeks. We deserve the opportunity to be out there. I'm out there now. I'm not going to change anything I do.
Okay, so are you saying if you're elected, you're still gonna come to civic league meetings?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm a dues-paying member of a half a dozen. I got to get my money back. Man.
Okay,
I've been a member of Craddock Civic League now for 12 years. I live in Green Lakes. We just started that one back up. I'm a member of Cavalier Manor Civic League, West Parkview Civic League, Waterview Civic League, West Haven Civic League. It's my hometown, man. I'm part of this community.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Can you go to the bathroom now?
Kendall Bradshaw.
Who?
Kendall Bradshaw.
Kendall. All right. Give Kendall a round of applause.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate this opportunity to come before you and explain why I'm running for school board this year. I have been an educator in Portsmouth Public Schools for over 16 years. I did retire in 2020. I'm currently a realtor here in Virginia and North Carolina. But my family's been in Portsmouth since the early 1800s. In my family, we've had many civic leaders. We've had people who have been city managers, educators. This is my hometown. I raised my family here on purpose. I stayed here on purpose. I believe in Portsmouth. But of course, having been a teacher for 16 and a half years, teachers and students are what I'm about. As they say, if you don't have a seat at the table, you might be on the menu. I want to make sure that our teachers have a seat at the table, and I'll be that seat at the table for them. I want to talk about their pay. I want to investigate, and there has been some research on that, and we are going to do that. We are going to make Portsmouth one of the best places to teach in our surrounding area. We're going to fund them, and it'll be my job to make sure that that happens. I want our teachers to know that we support them and that we're there for them. As far as the students, I have a vision for them too. I've always supported vocational education, but I'm also very concerned about safety. I want to make sure, I was also, you may not know, I was also a probation parole officer in Suffolk City for many years as an adult probation parole officer. And so safety and crime and all of those things, they happen in schools. And I want to make sure that our students are safe in a proactive way, not a reactive way. I have more, but I see I'm running out of time. So thank you so much for your opportunity.
Question.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
citizens seem to think that there is an attendance problem with the school system. How would you improve that?
Improve attendance
Mhm.
by reaching out into the community and talking with the parents. A lot of the schools have already taken, as I said, some proactive actions to increase the attendance. I recently went to the school board retreat and learned about some of the things that some of the schools are doing. So the positive things that they're doing, I would ask the other schools that may not be having the same success to partner with those that are having the success and find out the best practices for that. But it always comes down to reaching out to the families and letting them know how important it is that students come to school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Melinda Johnson.
Melinda Johnson. Let's welcome her. Give her a round of applause.
That mic working?
Huh?
That mic work? The mic, is it working?
Yeah.
That mic. You might have a short.
Just. Test.
All right.
It came up.
Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening. My name is Melinda Johnson. I am running for city council. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. I'm running for city council. I am a implant to this area. I served in the military for 26 years. I was stationed here in 1997, and I stayed. I deployed several times from that time period, but I have stayed here, and I have 7 children that have graduated from Churchland High School and IC Northland High School. I am active in several organizations, the National Urban League, Zeta Phi Beta. I was a member of the Chamber of Commerce for Portsmouth and all the different areas for the 13 years that I was here for the military recruiting. And I am a mother. I think that me being a mother and being passionate about my children and their safety is going to be a good asset for me on the city council. I do not have leadership in any type of government. I was a leader in the military, and I've been a leader in my family. I am one of the only people in my family that graduated from high school, graduated from college, and I went on to serve. And I have my children that have graduated and served as well. I'm an alumni from Norfolk State University, and I have 2 children that have graduated from there. I have 2 that are there right now, and my husband and 2 children are at Old Dominion universities. I am committed to this area. My daughter just lost 2 of her friends in violence this year. It's something that we have to change, and it's something that I think we can change from the inside out. I think it takes the parents and the city council members to be able to make those changes. We need people that are willing to be that change. And I'm a trained litigator. I'm a trained mediator, and I'm here to work with the people that are already on city council and with the new members that will be coming to city council. I think we need that time. We need to take the time to redigest and reinvest in our city. We need to understand that our children are the future, and we need to invest in them. City council is doing great things by the new vocational program that's there and utilizing the people that are already on the council. But I think that if we have another person that's coming in from the outside that just has a little bit more invested in the area with their family and that has outside visions. I worked in Detroit. That city went from bankruptcy to being one of the top cities in the country now. We have not got to that level, but it's a lot of people. When I say I say Portsmouth, their faces frown. I want to turn that frown upside down. I see that I am that person that can motivate people. I'm that person that can be that new voice on the council. My platform is three things, 3 Ds: the new decision maker, development, and diversity. I've talked to a lot of people, different races and creeds that want to be what more. Excuse me, they're cutting me off right now. Go ahead.
All right. So, what are 2 policies that you would advocate for if you're elected?
Okay. 2 of the policies that, as I said, that I would be advocating for is to increase the participation in the vocational programs and diversity with the new vocational education program. We have the different things that, like, Churchman has the agricultural, Manor has the cosmetology, and Norcom has the what is it? I can't remember what they have right now, but they all have these vocational programs. I want to increase those. And we just did that forum last week at Norcom. One of the young ladies was saying, what are they going to do? What are you going to do for the students? The things that we can do is increase enrollment in the dual enrollment program by allowing the students that have they don't have to have a 4.0 or a 3.5, but allowing the students that are invested in that have that interest and they have that backing by the counselors and things like that to get into the dual enrollment program so they can have that opportunity. Myself, I came from high school, I had a 2.0. My counselor told me I was going to be nothing but a welfare mom. I have a degree, I own my own home, and I have not been on welfare once in my life. Not that it's bad, but that's not something that happened to me. And I definitely don't want to have that happen to other young ladies to go there. I am a proud teen mother. I had a child at 19. But at that time, I owned a home, I lived in a foreign country, and I owned my own car. So I want to be that person. I'm going to utilize that program I had at Norcom with the young mothers and let them know that just because you have a child when you're young does not mean that your life stops right there. You can still move forward. You can move on. And one of those things that we did at Norcom, and I'm going to hopefully we can get into all the schools, is give them those aids to do FAFSA. Give them the opportunity to do a resume. Even if they don't have a job, we work at homes. We're women. We work at homes. We do budgets. We take care of families. So we can put that on our resume and give those young ladies that opportunity to move forward and be business owners and be leaders. I'm a Black woman. I'm a veteran. And I'm a business owner. Give me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Kitty Bryant.
One of the things we'd like to do is thank Cooper Restaurant for allowing us to host this here. And one of the things that, we're about economic development, and that's why we hold our Caucus connection at Black establishment. We did one in Virginia Beach. We did it at Black Eyed Peas. It was an African-American ownership. 757, we did one there. That was a Black establishment. Whether it's at Roger Brown and Newport News, Black establishment. So we're about economic development. And so for our African American community, and so that's why we go there to those establishments. Okay, who's next?
Kitty Bryant.
Miss Kitty, come on up.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank the Hampton Roads Black Caucus for inviting us all here tonight to share our visions with you all. My name is Kitty Bryant, and I am running for Portsmouth City Council to strengthen our community through collaborative leadership. My husband Hunter and I chose Portsmouth as our home 15 years ago. We bought our first home here, and we are currently raising our family here. We have 3 children, all of whom attend Portsmouth Public Schools, and we are truly invested in making Portsmouth a wonderful place for ourselves, for our kids' generation, and for future generations. We are committed to community service in the city. I have served as a court-appointed special advocate for the city of Portsmouth, working with children in foster care to find safe and stable homes. This is a position that brought me into contact with children and families in need, and used my background in education in adolescence to connect with our community and serve in a way that helped the court system. I'm currently serving as the president of the Old Town Portsmouth Civic League, where we are working on the years-long Court Street construction project to improve flooding downtown by creating bioretention areas. It's a very complex and complicated project that has gone on for several years, and we are working very hard to communicate with the city to improve that project. We're committed to all kinds of community service in Portsmouth. Professionally, my background is in journalism and education. I've worked as a newspaper reporter, which gave me my first glimpse into how important local government is and how it directly affects our lives. I've also taught high school in the city of Hampton, and have served as a Title I teacher and understand what the classroom experience is like and why supporting our schools is so very important. My goal here tonight is to touch a little bit on your pillars as an organization. I know that economic development, education, and community building are very important to the Hampton Roads Caucus, and I look forward to working in my role as a city councilwoman to improve community relations. I'm currently the director of children's ministry at Trinity Episcopal Church, where we have reached out to Portsmouth Public Schools through the Manor High School Career and Technical Education Department to build a partnership between the church and the schools to mentor young teachers. We have had them work in our nursery and now have promoted them to youth counselors. We're working on new programs to involve youth, and we are very excited about reaching out to the community in new ways to build relationships that will bring about new programs. So I look forward to talking to you all more about other ideas for the city. And again, thank you for having us here tonight.
What do you think you bring to the council if you're elected?
Thank you for that question. Yes, I hope to bring a diverse perspective to the council in the sense that we have only ever had 5 women elected to Portsmouth City Council, including the vice mayor, and I hope to represent women and families in a new way. We are at a point in our city where we are all very concerned about public safety, and I think that it's very important to have family representation on city council, particularly female representation on council. Women think about public safety differently. We think about it all the time and often when we're in the care of children. And I hope to be a voice to represent families in a new way on council.
Thank you.
One of the things I would like to add to this is that one of the things that the Black Caucus is concerned about is that African Americans are overrepresented in the criminal justice system. And I served in the criminal justice system for 19 years as a director of internal affairs for an agency in Richmond, and I opened up the juvenile detention center in Virginia Beach. And I seen the population. We had 90 beds, about 73 or 75 with nothing but African Americans. It's something we have to do to reduce that. And then I deal with the school division and I look at their suspension rate. We are overrepresented in out of school suspension. And it's tied together because that links to school to prison pipeline. And we got to break that cycle if we are going to survive. as a nation, as a city, and as a whole. We have to do something. We cannot let our children, we cannot sit on the sideline while our children is in a river of despair drowning. You throw them a lifeline. We have to throw them a lifeline. I don't care what color you are. It's overrepresented. I just keep it real with it. We are overrepresented, and it's appalling to me. And I'm invested in trying to reduce that. Okay? The Black Caucus is invested in reducing the recidivism rate and also in reducing our incarceration rate of Black males. Because we can keep our Black males in the community, maybe we can change this thing around.
That's right.
Jonathan.
Now Jonathan is unique. He's from Suffolk. He's coming. He's following He's following the Hampton Roads Black Caucus, and he's running for the school board. So it's you on. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Thank you, guys. Cooper, thank you guys for hosting this event, allowing us to come here. My name is Jonathan Rankin. I do come from next door, out in the city of Suffolk. I'm running for school board. This journey for school board started 4 years. Back in 2019, late 2019, we bought our house so that we could raise our daughter in the same school system that I graduated from, Lakeland High School, class of 2003. 2020 was an interesting year. The pandemic hit, everything shut down. The schools sent computers home with all their students, and that was the year that my daughter started kindergarten. We had an incident, an IT incident that brought me to the board. There was inappropriate material that my daughter was exposed to, and so when I came and spoke to the board, I had an interesting conversation with one of the board members. The other 6 board members, I didn't feel as though I had their attention, and I was speaking from the heart. This incident was extremely important to me, and one board member in particular, she listened to me and she recommended that I reach out personally to my board rep. When I explained the situation one-on-one with my board rep, she appointed me to the Career and Technical Education. She saw that I had a to serve the public. At the time, I was working for NOAA. I was a contract specialist, and NOAA wasn't necessarily looking for high school graduates. They were looking for college graduates. So the second year came in, and my board rep asked me if I would like to be part of the safety audit committee. Now, safety was extremely important to me. I feel very strongly that bullying is getting out of control in the school system. And so for the past 2 years now, I've been the chairman of the safety audit committee.
Okay.
And I've all right. Well, I thought it was 3 minutes. So sorry about
That
that.
was 3 minutes?
No, it's 2 minutes.
No, it's 3.
I thought we were getting.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
No.
2 minutes.
Stop it. Keep it moving.
Oh, keep talking.
Okay, all right, I'll keep going. And I'll wrap this up. For the past 2 years, I've been the chairman of the safety audit committee. Being on that committee, I've been networking. I've been working with city council members, trying to get things approved. One of the items that we needed to get done was a crosswalk between Kings Fork High School and Kings Fork Middle School. And we couldn't have done that by the school division ourselves. So networking with city council members, we were able to accomplish that mission. I was asked to run for the school board because we were able to bring that committee together. That committee was a broken committee. There was a lot of infighting and divisiveness, and they saw that I was able to bring some cohesiveness to that committee. And our school board in Suffolk needs some cohesiveness, and so that's what I'm bringing to the table. Thank you.
Question?
I'll take that.
Okay. How will you ensure that resources are spread throughout all the schools equally?
Thanks for that question. It's a very interesting question. It's a dynamic question. It's something that we're going to have to discuss as a school board and look at the policies that distribute the resources throughout. Right now, we are bleeding money on programs that are not contributing to student achievement at the moment. We have 13% of our student body that is under the SPED program, and the achievement is gross. They aren't even meeting the benchmarks in SOLs, and so we need to focus our attention and resources to ensuring that all the children have a proper education.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We just remember our membership is open. It's half price today, $25. You can join, become a member, get your pen and lapel pen and newsletters and all that from the Hampton Roads Black Caucus. You're welcome to join.
And a free gift. And a free gift.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. If you join, my vice president just told me, I forgot about that. You get a free gift. You get a bag of goodies. Yeah. So $25 plus you get a bag of goodies.
Yolanda Edmonds.
Yolanda? Okay, doctor.
No.
I'm prophesizing.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that. I'm at Stella School, but thank you. Okay, right here. X marks the spot. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Yolanda Edmonds Thomas. I am a candidate for Portsmouth City Council, and I'm so happy to be here today to talk about myself and what I want to do for the city of Portsmouth with the help of the rest of the council, because remember, we're all only one vote. And so I am a native of Portsmouth, graduated from IC Norcom High School. I was number 2 in my class of 99. I went on to go to the University of Virginia, where I got a degree in chemical engineering. And from there, I went on to work in DC for 10 years as a risk-based investment consultant. So I do have a background in working with billion-dollar budgets with DoD and looking at how we prioritize one pot of money with a whole bunch of needs. So I do have that background as well. I have 2 children that attend Portsmouth Public Schools, and I've also been married to my best friend. We recently celebrated 16 years of marriage. So let me tell you why I am here today, telling you about what I want to do for the city. One thing about me, I ran for, let me go back a little bit. I served when I first moved back to Portsmouth after having my first child. I wanted to raise him in the city around family and around the community that poured into me. And I don't care what you say about Portsmouth, the love here, you will get the love here from the people. It will build you up and lift you up. And I wanted my children to be around that same love. So one thing, when I did get here, after living in DC, Alexandria, and Pennsylvania, I realized that there were some disparities in the school that I thought I could do better. So in 2020, I threw my name in the hat, ran for a school board, and I was the highest vote getter for school board. So I am completing my first term on school board. And one thing that differs about me from probably any other candidate currently running for city council is that everything that I ran for on school board, I've done. I said I was going to bring dual language immersion to the schools because I noticed that in other districts, starting in kindergarten, kids were able to learn a second language. Why shouldn't our kids in Portsmouth have those same opportunities? We are now, for 2024 school year, all of our kids will be able to enroll in kindergarten learning a second language. I said I would expand CTE, Career Technical Education, VOTEC. We just broke ground in our VOTEC school called the PACE Center. I said I would increase teacher salaries. We gave raises every year for our teachers. So I want to bring that same can-do attitude to city council. Number 1, starting with creating safe and clean communities. Number 2,
continuing to invest in our education. And number 3, developing our economics, growing businesses so that we can pay for those things. So I have more details, but I see my time is running out with 5 seconds. So if you go to my website, yolandaethomas.com, you can find out the details of how I plan on getting each of those things done. Thank you.
Question. And we have been in the news quite often for our disagreements on council meetings. What would you do differently?
Okay, great question. So let's talk about that. You said we've been in the news for our disagreements. And I don't think anything is wrong with disagreements. And I say that because on the school board, we have disagreements, right? It's how the public gets informed of those disagreements. It's how the public perceives it. You don't want a council and they all have the same ideas, because really some of those ideas could be bad ideas and you don't have anyone to check it, right? But the thing about it is knowing how to work with others. And the reason I said in the beginning, we're only one vote, I could have never accomplished getting anything done that I ran on for school board if I couldn't work with others. And so I have to shout out some of my other board members I see here, Quinea Petrell, Vice Chair Lakeisha Atkinson. We don't all agree. We all have different priorities, and each of the citizens elected us based on the different things that we bring to the table. So my thing is respecting. It comes from respect. Respecting each member's voice, knowing that your voice is not louder than the other person's voice, and that each of you have to find a way to focus on the main thing being the citizens. If you keep your focus on what's best for the citizens, what's best for Portsmouth, then those disagreements can become agreements because you're all moving towards the same thing. And secondly, I want to add consistency. We've had changes in our city manager, and the one thing that has kept the school board from moving forward is that we've had a consistent superintendent. Agree or not agree, whoever changes in those seats that the citizens elect, the superintendent has a long-term strategic focus from a board, and they're able to keep that focus going for the school long-term, regardless of who's in that seat. So you have to respect the voice, and you also have to respect the person that the council hires to manage the city so that they can continue to actually make progress and not be hindered by a constant changing and rotation of that seat.
Thank you.
Oops, excuse me.
Don't hit the camera.
All right, we're getting down to the end. Okay. Who's next?
Arnett McSwain.
Who is it?
She's in the back. Arnett.
Arnett. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Excellent.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm Arnett D. Love McSwain. I am from Portsmouth, Virginia. Born and raised, graduated from Minor High School. I attended, I went in the military afterwards, and I stayed in the United States Army for about 9 years. After that, I became a deputy sheriff in Chatham County, Georgia, Police Academy certified, and then I moved here and became a deputy sheriff in Chesapeake and retired in 2015. During my tenure as a deputy sheriff, I worked with the youth that had been convicted as adults, and that is where I learned most of the issue that we have today with our youth. First of all, they're looking for love, and they can't find love in the home. They're going to find love in the streets. And I learned as a deputy sheriff that even though my job was to enforce what has been brought down on those children, I could still show them love. I can still redirect them. And that is when I decided I have to come back home and do something for our kids. So as a deputy sheriff, I was also subbing. So I would go into the high schools. I was real strict. I could control the classrooms. And they was like, what, are you a real teacher? No, I'm just a deputy sheriff, and I come to spend some time with you. And so with this journey of mine, I finished college. I got a master's degree in religion. I got a master's degree in management and leadership. I do have a bachelor's in criminal justice as well. I want to help see how, along with my colleagues, how we can retain our teachers, how we can hold individuals accountable for certain things. You know, the worst feeling is to be talking to educators and they filter themselves. I mean, just recently as last week, I'm talking to an educator. She started filtering herself, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she was like, "Well, certain things I can't say." No, I want to hear your concerns because I can't help you if I don't know what you need. So I definitely want to make sure that we have a free communication area between the teachers and the administration, and then the governing board, which are the school board, okay? So I want to make sure they're comfortable with that. We don't want to silence anybody. We want to hear that. Also, the reading. Our children are reading at a 58% proficiency. That's not good enough for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's not good enough for me. And they're graduating at a 79%. Okay, as I graduate, we got a C+ rating. And that's not taking anything from the school. That means it's all for the school board, excuse me. That means it's room for enhancement. That's all. And I have ideas, and hopefully I can get my colleagues to go along with me as far as fighting for a better system for our kids on how to enhance their reading. Okay, I'm ready to put boots on the ground if I got to put them all the way in Richmond. I believe in fighting for what's right. I am a soldier. Let me be a soldier for Portsmouth. I am a veteran for Portsmouth.
Question. What are your ideas for minimizing the dropout rate?
Minimizing the dropout rate. First of all, we definitely have to find out what the issues are. So you're going to have someone that's, I would say, use truancy, someone that's doing their job. If you're not doing your job, let's get somebody else to do it. Okay, that's the first thing. You got to touch bases at home, find out what's going on with the kids, and then we handle that accordingly. You know, we can't treat everybody the same. We don't know what they're going through. And so it may just be something simple. The kid may be hungry. I mean, you just don't know what they're going through. You go through it by each instance, okay? You look at each instance and you deal with it appropriately. I can't group a whole bunch of kids and say they're dropping out because of this. I want to know what's going on with that particular kid. What are we doing? Do we have enough people that can address the issue? That may be a problem as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to bring up Miss Cooper, the owner of the restaurant. She would like to bring you bread.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming.
We can't hear you.
Is it on? Okay, there we go. Thank you for coming tonight. I'd just like to welcome you into our establishment. I always tell people my goal is to take you back to grandma's house where food was cooked slow and with love, and all you needed was God and family. And that's what I want this restaurant to represent. My husband and I live in Chesapeake, but we chose to open our restaurant here in Portsmouth because I love Portsmouth, and our goal is to be a beacon of light in this community, especially for the youth. We started doing churching here on Sunday mornings with breakfast. We call it Breakfast with the Word. I definitely pushed the envelope with regards to always having gospel music on in here. I want it to be very Christian focused in here, that this is community, this is a place of love. I do my best to reach out to the youth, to the underserved, the underprivileged. Every year we do, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we close the restaurant down and do a homeless feeding where I take out vouchers to nursing homes, to the plasma center, to the Oasis House, to different places where I know it can get into the hands of people that need it. And we open our doors and allow those people to come in here and sit down just like every one of y'all and treat them like a full paying customer, not like a second class citizen, because we don't know why people are out on the street. Like every one of y'all has touched on, it can be mental issues, it can be drugs, there are so many reasons. And I think people are quick to assume people are on the streets because they want to be. Truth be told, I was on the streets at 14 years old because of things beyond my control. I did not want to be there. And so I have a special place in my heart for people like that. And I want them to know there is a safe haven, that they are a human being just like each one of us, and there is hope and help for them. So that's what I want this place to represent. Thank you for letting us host your event. I hope you guys come back. I hope you've enjoyed everything, and let me know if there's anything I can do for y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have a special relationship because we were together over in Newport News, right? She catered an event over in Newport News. I tell you, it was awesome. Who's the next?
Dr. Jacqueline Waller.
Dr. Jacqueline Waller.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Jacqueline Walker. And if you were to define me personally in 3 different areas, it would be education, incarceration, and manifestation. So I want to touch on those 3, and then I'll lay out my platform if I have time to do that in 3 minutes. So as far as me, I am from the city of Portsmouth. I was raised in the Cavalier Mountain section. My mother was a teacher in Portsmouth Public Schools for over 40 years. So that's where my torch came from in reference to education. So I'm going to just break down the education portion. This will be my 22nd year in education, with 11 of those years being in Portsmouth Public Schools. I started out as a teacher, and I am now the director of curriculum instruction and assessment for 18 private schools across the state of Virginia. But we service public school students that can no longer be educated in the public school because they have disabilities and challenges that now they have to go with the continuum of placement into another setting. When I define myself with incarceration, I am the executive director and founder of the MAN Foundation. We are a viral foundation, not only in the city of Portsmouth, but across the United States. I have a partnership with the Portsmouth City Jail and 2 of the local prison systems where we go in and teach reentry, and we teach behind bars. The special part with that is that I won a grant with my colleague that's here today, Dr. Velvet Smith, for Portsmouth Public Schools for Brighton Elementary specifically. And it was called the BOSS program. And in the BOSS program, it was a authors and book club where students that had incarcerated parents got to come together and to be able to talk about that trauma, because having an incarcerated parent is one of the ACEs, which is part of trauma. So they were able to let out their feelings, and they were able to talk about that, and they are now published authors where you can actually buy their book on Amazon. My third piece to define me, which is manifestation, is because I believe in goal setting, not only for adults, but also for children. And when I talk about goal setting, I talk about going into the communities and working with the community to be able to set goals for themselves. So that's why one of my initiatives that I want to do is called Parent University. So to quickly go through my platform, I'm with educational equity, student-centered policies, staff support and retention, and lastly, to have transparency and leadership. Thank you.
Question. So parents of children with special needs feel like they aren't being heard by the school system. What would you do to change that?
I have been a educator for all 22 of my years. My license is in special education. So one of the pieces that I did do was called School and SIP, and that was also with the school. What we did is that I had colleagues and I had to come out to review every IEP of parents that came out there. And when they listed our concerns, that we could act as an advocate for them, because at that time I was not working for Portsmouth Public Schools, so they would know what to do. There's a lot of legal terminology in those documents, and what people don't understand is that is a legal and working document that you can go and change at any time if the parent needs to do that. So I would ensure that a part of my Parent University has a special course catalog for students with disabilities that I can help their parents to be able to help them to not only help themselves, but the child to navigate to the system. But one thing that people don't understand is that the goal of special education is to get out of it. We're supposed to build them up with strategies and supposed to build them up with life goals so that we are leveling the playing field and having that equity piece, not equality, but that equity piece, so that they're able to go out and work any job that any one of us in here are able to do.
Thank you.
You keeping a blazing trail for others to follow. Lakeisha. My friend. All right. Now, let me turn this mic over to you and get out of your way.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lakeisha Clue Atkinson. I currently serve on a school board. I'm in my second term. This year would be my third term if reelected. So I'm from Portsmouth. I'm a product of Portsmouth Public Schools. I'm standing here as a testament to children to let them know that you can go from public housing to being a public figure. So that's my testament to the children, and I want to be an inspiration for them. So I decided to run for re-election to school board to continue the progress that we already made. One thing that I'm proud of right now is that we applied for a 1.5 million grant through the state. We didn't go to the school board. We didn't go to the city. I reached out to the state for 4 years. I was told no. Myself, my committee, the church, and community. But we didn't give up because no spelled backwards is on. So we were on to the next year, and we continued the process until we were approved. So through that 1.5 million grant, this summer, we're paying out $225,000 to 45 students. Each of those students are getting $5,000 apiece. They're working with businesses in the Portsmouth community, and they're learning valuable skills. So that's a way to reduce crime and also teach our kids the important skills they need to move on. Because our profile of a student for Portsmouth Public Schools is for them to be able to either go to college, go in the military, or be prepared for work. So I'm a big advocate for CE. As mentioned, Yolanda said, we just broke ground on our Pay Center, which is for kids to learn trades. They're going to learn welding, cybersecurity. And speaking of cybersecurity, before that big shutdown happened, I was already working on a partnership with ECPI and Norfolk State University to create a pathway for those students taking cybersecurity so they can go and finish up there. Like I said, campaign promises made, campaign promises kept. We reduced suspension. Our parents of special needs students wanted resources. We opened up a parent resource center. It's so much. I mean, I had a whole checklist. I'm trying to think of everything now. I mean, you go on my Facebook page, but my platform this year is teacher pay raises and increases. We just did a compression study so we can be aligned with all the teachers in the area. A big issue is that we're not aligned with the step pay, so we want to get it there. So when we get that study, anybody that's running for city council, that's going to be a big ask that we're going to ask for. Also this year, we just gave our teachers a 7% raise. Now keep in mind, the state only funds certain positions. As a school board, we funded every member of staff in the school board. We don't just fund certain positions. And the last thing I want to do is create a wellness initiative through our school lunch program. The USDA just put out a policy that there's going to be a lack of sodium and sugar in our foods. So if you don't know, kids do not eat, 80% of children do not eat school lunch, and hunger leads to violence. So if we bring in an executive chef, what they do is make the food more tasty, more presentable, and more children will eat versus going home hungry. So I want to tackle that as well. But I thank you so much for your time.
Question.
Yes.
Back up a little bit.
Back up a little bit. Okay. I'm too close. Okay,
No,
gotcha.
you got it, the camera. Okay.
3 minutes not a long time. You know, I didn't even say I went in off a stay. I mean, wow.
You got it in though. You got it in.
Okay,
You got it in.
behold, there you go.
All right. So, what is going to be different about this term when you're reelected?
I think about this term what's going to be different is the energy. Like I said, we've been able to move forward with the school board. The city council fully funded us this year. We asked for 15 million. So the energy is different. So we feel like now, we can ask city council for anything. So I'm coming this year. We're ready for our new school. So anybody ready for city council, be prepared because I'm not stopping. We're not stopping. We need a new school. So like I said, the energy, the relationship, I heard you say before, someone asked that there was disagreements before, but that happens. But we've been able to work together and get things done and move Portsmouth forward. So there has been progress made.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We said not enough time. All right.
Have we missed anybody?
All right. I want to bring Ms. Cooper back up again. she has something she'd like to disseminate to you. So,
Her actually talking about the children reminded me, I have, as part of my homeless and stuff, I have a program here where I give out these cards to school teachers, to counselors, anybody dealing with children, the Y, homeless shelters, whatever. With this card, the person handing it to them, on the back of it, if there's 5 children in the household under 12 years old, they can write 5 kids on the back of this card. The parents can bring the child here and hand me this card, and every one of those children get a free meal to take home. So that is also part of what I do, because no child in our country should go hungry. We have far too many resources and far too much money. And I think it is a travesty. And it's really hard as a restaurant because because y'all know Portsmouth is predominantly federally owned. So it is governed by the FDA. It is not governed by the state of Virginia when it comes to restaurants and food. And so me giving food out to even the homeless at night when I close, if I take that food immediately from my bar, box it up and hand it out my back door free of charge to the homeless people, I've actually been told by the city of Portsmouth I could be fined $10,000 for every tray I hand out because it goes against federal guidelines. That is a travesty. I could have someone walk out that door 2 minutes ahead of time and pay me for that same exact food, but it's against the law for me to give it away free.
Jesus.
And so that's an issue that needs to be addressed for all of y'all who are running for city council. All these signs around that say stop the problem. I've tried donating to organizations, and I have those same people coming to me telling me that they don't meet the guidelines to get help from those organizations. So that is a problem where I can't help somebody free instead of throwing the food in my dumpster, and then they'll go in my dumpster and get it where they're guaranteed to get sick, but I can't give it to them in a styrofoam container. So if there's any school teachers here, counselors that would like some of these, please see me before you leave and I'll give you some.
all right, we are coming to the end. I would like to introduce some of our board members. First of all, I would like to introduce our podcast host. And one of the things I want to tell you, inform you that Ms. Nina Francis, Hampton Roads Black Caucus hosts a podcast called Let's Talk. And,
We have one more candidate.
Oh, I apologize. Charge it to my head and not my heart.
You didn't ask.
Okay, all right. Work me in, and I said, forget what I'm coming.
I apologize.
It's okay, all right. Hey, I'm Mia Phillips. I'm glad you didn't forget me. I have a love for Portsmouth. I love Portsmouth. My family's from Portsmouth. And I just remember being here as a kid. I moved from Virginia Beach to Portsmouth. And I've been voting for a while, but I just have not seen a difference. I like to hear about all of the great things in Portsmouth, sunshine and roses. But when I'm looking around and I'm seeing what I'm seeing, it is not it. We need a new face. We need to do some things that are different. We need to have more businesses in Portsmouth. We've had businesses to leave Portsmouth. We need to find out why did those businesses leave Portsmouth. Try to woo those businesses back to Portsmouth. You just go over to the adjacent city. We have boarded up buildings that are not being occupied, and tell them about the tax incentives that are available. We have a 10-year tax incentive that a lot of folks don't know about that you can use to renovate a building, and it helps the business owner, and it can bring businesses to Portsmouth. More businesses that we have more people spending money in restaurants like this. We have more families coming here to our restaurants, going to our schools, our grocery stores. We have more money coming into the business. The best thing is to spend your money, cycle it back through the same city that you're living in. Secondly, I want to see more activity in Portsmouth. A lot of times when I'm doing things when I'm going around, I'm going outside of the city. I don't want to go outside of the city. I want to stay in the city that I'm living in. We have the boardwalk. They just spent a lot of money on that boardwalk. But I don't see anything going on. And again, I like to talk about all of the great things in Portsmouth and sunshine and roses, but I see what I see. So we have to do something different.
If you go down to the boardwalk on 4th of July, I don't see anything happening. Memorial Day, there is nothing happening. You spend a lot of money there. We need to do something, more activity. The water's there. Let's use our water. She just mentioned, Ms. Edmonds just mentioned that she came from DC. She knows that DC and Maryland, there's a lot of activity, but we have water. We can do the same thing, and we don't take advantage of it. When we have things going on, we have this huge grassy area that we send folks over to with no coverage. So there's a lot of improvement, and we need a new face. And Portsmouth needs an overhaul. So we talk about great things, but let's be real. Okay.
Okay. Question. Top 3 things you would want to accomplish if elected.
First thing, like I said, is more activities. Young people, you want to attract young people to move here. They spend money. They're doing things. They're not sitting at home. They want to have things to do. So we have to have more activities. You can't just, there's a lot of churches in Portsmouth. The churches don't bring enough taxes. I go to church, I pay my tithes, but it goes to the church. It's not going to the city. So we need more activities in Portsmouth. Economic development, we got to improve on that. Like I said, we have a lot of boarded up houses. You ride around, and it doesn't encourage people to want to live here. If you ride around and you see a lot of boarded up houses, there have to be incentives made to encourage those folks to do something with their houses, do something with their businesses, so that we bring businesses here. You have to either send fines or something. There has to be a program created to encourage people to do something with their businesses. Third thing is economics. It'll help you guys with the school system. The more people that we have to come to Portsmouth to bring their businesses to Portsmouth, the more houses that are built, it will improve your school system. You need businesses to improve the schools. If you don't have the people, your schools will not improve. It will stay stagnant. I'm a Class A builder. I'm on the Board of Zoning Appeals. The first thing I saw, and the reason I jumped up there, is I saw 10 applicants that were turned down when I was sitting in there. And I said, what in the world are they doing? They're turning down business. When people and builders build houses, you are bringing business to Portsmouth. For whatever reason they decided to turn it down, you are turning down business. You are turning down families. So when you allow builders to build houses and to build buildings, shopping centers, you are bringing business to Portsmouth. That homey feeling, keeping it the same does not bring money to Portsmouth.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, sir.
I apologize for not introducing you, but some of the constituents didn't hear your name and what you're running.
I'm sorry, I'm Mia Phillips, I'm running for city council.
Yes,
All right, thank you.
That's it?
That's did we miss anybody?
Did we miss anyone that came in later in the thing? Okay, I would like to introduce our board members. First, Ms. Nina Francis, she's the vice president. And she is the podcast host of Let's Talk. And those of you who are running, if you just connect with her, she will schedule you to come on her podcast, advertise it for about a week and a half, and you just talk about your platform, and people can ask questions on social media to her to ask you why you're talking about your platform. The other board member I would like to introduce is, what did he run off to? Okay, he's outside. My treasurer, Bill Curtis, he's out there. Secretary, he's the treasurer. And our assistant treasurer and timekeeper, Miss Audrey McDaniel. Also, we have our event coordinator, Miss Latoria Richardson, board member. She the one planned this. Oh, membership also.
No, our event is strong.
Okay. And also, some of the board members that are missing is Sharon Fisher. She was here early, but she had to go take care of her mother who's in the nursing home, take her some food. Also, we have Frank Walton, who owns Walton Funeral Home in Virginia Beach. He's on the board. Also, we have Joel Jones. He's, if you may have seen him on television, he's a retired Navy guy. He does a lot of teaching women how to shoot and how to handle firearm safety. So he's a part of our organization. And also we have a member that is inactive right now, a board member, because she just had surgery. She's our secretary, Mrs. Paulette Reed. Yeah, and I just want to go over the survey one more time. As you know, we use an independent consultant to send out the survey to you and then receive it back, then send it out to our members. And our members then will vote and tell us who they want us to endorse. And then once we do that, if you don't send it in, then what happens is when it goes out, it said no response. And it'll go by your name, no response. Okay? And then once, before the first, I think we're gonna have it out before the early voting. So you can put it on your paraphernalia that you was endorsed by us. We're gonna run it in the Virginia Pilot also, about a week or two before the election. We'll put an ad in there showing the seal of endorsement that we endorse. Also, we are doing candidate forums. So we'll come back to Portsmouth and hold a candidate forum. The Hampton, we are partner. We got some partners that's going to partner with us, and we'll have a mayor and school board forum. And it's pretty. We're doing one tomorrow night in Virginia Beach. Then we move into Chesapeake to hold the forums. And so we inviting young people as some of the moderators. Our legal academy in Virginia Beach, some of those students will be the moderators. I'll moderating our forum. And so our forum moderators are very diverse. And we normally give the candidate an opportunity to see the questions. None of that I got you, it's no debate. It's not a debate now. It's talking about your platform and answering the question. We want to keep it civil, okay? We have done a couple of these, and everybody love them. We have food for you to eat at the same time. Say again? Oh yeah, they want me on the 21st of September at the Chesapeake Conference Center. That's where we honor the Trailblazers. I don't know if some of you know Dr. Karen Pruitt. She used to be the chairman of the NAACP in Virginia Beach. Women with a Purpose. Dr. Pruitt is very high profile, even at the national level. We are honoring her. And also we're honoring one person from Portsmouth, one from Chesapeake. Some former member is Dr. Moody, Eric Moody, lawyer Moody, the former president of Hampton University, Dr. Harvey. We also honored Pharrell Williams' mother and honored one of this, Patricia Wright, one of the 17 in Norfolk. We honored Kenny Alexander being the first African-American mayor. Louise Strayhorn being the first female to sit on the city council, a black female to sit on the city council in Virginia Beach. So I don't know if you remember the Gazzetti newspaper. It was a black newspaper. The young lady that founded it, she has been called from labor to reward, and we honored her also. We honored who? We honored the lieutenant governor being the first black female to sit in that seat. So we look for trailblazers that are making trailblazers in the African American community that we look to honor. One of the things that I want you to know, we don't deal with the national level. All politics are local. We look at this from the governor all the way back down to your clerk of the court endorsing them, sheriffs and Commonwealth attorneys and stuff of that nature, those individual types, because that's where your politics. Everybody think it's the national level, dealing with your taxes, no, HRSD, utility tax, parking this and that. That's where your taxes get taxed. So That's what it is. Anyone have any questions about the endorsement process? Anybody have any questions about the Breakfast of Champions? We are looking for sponsors, table sponsors, young people. We like to bring our young people out to let them introduce them to candidates and everything. And please support. Usually we roll it out the endorsement at Breakfast of Champions. You'll know who's endorsed. And one of the things I'd like to let you know that we usually can tell you our membership is all over the place, all over the 7 cities. We can tell about who's going to win. We usually get it 85% accurate. We can tell you who's going to win. Sure can. I told one mayor, and he had gone through some trouble. When I looked at the result, I let him know, you're going to win by a landslide. He said, no, I'm not. I just came out of some mess. I'm telling you, you're going to win by a landslide. He won by a landslide. That's what our numbers said. He was going to win by a landslide. He did. So we're not always right, but majority of the time, we get it right. And so I thank each and every one of you. Mayor, I thank you for hosting us here. And I thank each and every one of you city council members. I thank you school board members. I thank all of you for coming out here supporting the Hampton Roads Black Caucus. We couldn't have did it without you. And those of you that didn't come out, my members, our members, we thank you for supporting us from my heart to yours. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, we still have food here. You can eat, take with you, whatever you want to do. And don't forget, you can join tonight. You can join the Hampton Roads Black Caucus.